And my dear friend Vinod for having me here. It's a pleasure always to be part of such gatherings where we sit and discuss some of the critical issues of our times. I would like to be bilingual, हिंदी और अंग्रेजी दोनों में बोलने की कोशिश करूँगा तो टाइम थोड़ा डिवाइडेड रहेगा उसी में. पिछले कई सालों से जब से बहुत सारे इश्यूज पर बात हुई है, हम लोग बहुत सारे टुकड़ों में इश्यूज पर बात करते हैं, जैसे कि पानी की बात हो, बीज की बात हो, या खेती एक अलग सेक्टर के रूप में बात हो, टेक्नोलॉजी की बात हो. एक बड़ा सवाल जो एक सोशल साइंटिस्ट के रूप में, एक एकेडमिशियन के रूप में हमारे सामने है, जो पिछले सेशन में एक स्पीकर ने उसके बारे में बात की कि इन सब मुद्दों को एक साथ हम लोग इंटीग्रेटेड मैनर में किस तरह से देखें. So in the past few decades we have been talking about different issues in segments, and the big challenge is how to look at these issues in an integrated manner. So today what I am going to talk about such an issue which has received a lot of attention in various committee reports in the last 2 decades, but when it comes to practice this issue continues to remain at the margins. जिस मुद्दे पर मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ वो एक ऐसा मुद्दा है जिसके ऊपर पिछले 20 सालों में अलग अलग कमेटीज ने बार बार बात की है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर नीतिगत तौर पर देखें तो वो मुद्दा कहीं ना कहीं हाशिए पर है, और वो इशू है एग्रीकल्चरल एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज. एग्रीकल्चरल एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज एक ऐसा अम्ब्रेला टर्म है जिसका जो मेन पर्पस है वो है टेक्नोलॉजी और फार्मर्स या दूसरी कम्युनिटीज को कैसे एक कन्वर्ज्ड फैशन में वो एक साथ काम करें. One major objective of agricultural extension service concept is how to bring different issues concerning agriculture, people, communities, and how to understand it in a more integrated manner. Now I have shown here the newspaper clipping which I just collected a few days ago from Rajasthan, my hometown in North Rajasthan, Manmani. And if you look at this, it is actually showing that how there were people who were selling spurious drugs in the name of controlling problems in cotton production, and farmers had shown their wisdom and they got hold of these people, and they were handed over to the agriculture department, and later on they were handed over to police. And the agriculture officials, police and people worked in a very coordinated manner and finally got hold of an entire group which was functioning in the area and selling some of these drugs which were being sold in the name of increasing production and so on. Now, this problem may look like a separate problem from the issue of water. Is it actually? It is not. Why? Because the clipping which I am showing you, it may only talk about a particular crop, cotton, but actually it also shows the way farmers engage with the issue of technology and the way they look at agriculture. Now I would like to mention that in the past 2 decades, 3 major committee reports, whether it is Guru Committee report, whether it is Swaminathan Committee report, or Prime Minister Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income report, especially the last report on doubling farmers' income, they all had a section which had emphasized that unless we bring coordination, integration through extension services, whatever questions we are addressing, be it agricultural production, be it marketing, be it distribution, water and so on, none of these actually can see the light of the day. Now, if you look at the real policy implementation aspect and the Prime Minister's Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income few years ago only highlighted that how this aspect of it was the committee regarding doubling farmers' income. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you the existing structure of extension services in India. It has developed largely in the last 3 decades from state level to district level to national level, and committees like Samiti, APMA or Agriculture Officers Association, we have Farmer Friends, and finally an institute like Manage which works on agricultural extension services. And despite that, the extension services continue to remain at extreme margin. margins, and one of the example of this kind of marginalization is how schemes meant for efficient usage of water in agriculture, especially micro irrigation facilities, they continue to remain unexplored. And this is just a graph which I got and I'm just sharing it, which shows that how the micro irrigated area coverage in most of the states remains extremely low. If you look at the green tabs, it shows as compared to the blue tag, and blue tag shows the net irrigated area, whereas the MI coverage is extremely low. In fact, in most of the cases, it is less than 3 to 4% of the net irrigated area in states. Now, this particular graph which I have shared, it belongs to the Irrigation Association of India's recent conference, where they had talked that the total net irrigated area of 72 million hectares, only 7.8 million hectares is covered by micro irrigation facilities in India. Now, why there is a gap between this micro irrigation system and the irrigation agriculture facilities in India? And one of the reasons behind it is the existing gap between extension services and farmers. Recently, 2 years ago, there was a report which was made public by the Government of India about the situation of agriculture, and you will be amazed that the report had highlighted that only 12% farmers go to KVK or the government agencies to seek technical assistance. More than 30% farmers actually look up to their friends and relatives or neighbors or other community members while seeking such help. Only 2.5% farmers have an access to private sector or market entities to look for support in accessing different technologies in agriculture. Now, the report had actually flagged this existing gap, that despite Government of India focusing on KVK, India having a wonderful network of agricultural universities, our extension services are not reaching to the farmers. तो किसान और एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज के बीच का ये जो गैप है, जिसका मैंने माइक्रो इरिगेशन फैसिलिटीज के सेंस में बात किया, उस गैप को फिल अप करने के लिए किस तरह के कदम हमें उठाने की जरूरत है। और एक टर्म जो मैं इसमें लिख नहीं पाया, जिसको मैं यहाँ पर बैठे सभी लोगों के माध्यम से कहना चाहता हूँ कि शायद हमें एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन से आगे उठकर रूरल एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज के बारे में सोचने की जरूरत है। क्यों है? क्योंकि बहुत सारे केवीके ऑफिशियल्स और एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिशियल्स से अपने डिस्कशंस में ये बात सामने आई कि इन ऑफिशियल्स और पंचायत एजेंसीज के बीच में एक गैप है, एक ट्रस्ट डेफिसिट है, और ये ट्रस्ट डेफिसिट फाइनली रिफ्लेक्ट होता है एक साइलोस के रूप में, जहां पर एग्रीकल्चर टेक्नोलॉजी सर्विसेज एक अलग फील्ड में काम करती हैं और पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो जिनको कि एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन को सपोर्ट करना चाहिए वो एक अलग फील्ड में काम करते हैं। तो इनके बीच में एक कोऑर्डिनेटेड फैशन कैसे हो, उसका एक सॉल्यूशन जो है which I wanted to propose is to have rural extension services which could actually fill up this gap between farmers and technology। लेकिन इसके साथ एक पॉइंट और हाईलाइट करना जरूरी है, जिसके बारे में खास तौर से पिछले 15 से 20 सालों में एक तरह का कंसेंसस बना है कि एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज जो है वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर के हाथों में छोड़ दी जाए और उससे वो रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी हो सकती है। ठीक उसी तरह जैसे एग्रीकल्चर में ये डिबेट बार बार आती है कि स्टेट और गवर्नमेंट का क्या रोल एग्रीकल्चरल डेवलपमेंट के लिए होना चाहिए। I would like to propose that there is a need to have a balanced view in offering agriculture or rural extension services where state has a major role to play. Most of the states have either not been recruiting agricultural officials or have not been having staff which works on extension services. Couple of states where extension services are in a good shape are Punjab and Haryana, whereas we know even these good so-called good states have a very poor extension services. So I would like to request this August gathering to think about extension services as a model to resolve the problem between trust, technology, agriculture and farmers. I would like to conclude. Thank you very much.